Hey guys! So today's video is going to be the next in my seasonal series of my favourite things to do in Japan, and since I just did summer I figured I'd move straight on to autumn because it only makes logical sense, right? So today's video is going to be my top 5 things to do if you are in Japan in autumn. Now, as I did in the last video, I will be putting up photos of my own experiences of these things throughout the video, and also links to any videos that I made up here somewhere about the thing that I'm talking about. Make sense? Hopefully, yes. Okay, so full disclosure, autumn and spring are my 2 absolute favorite seasons in Japan. I love the weather, I love the colors, I've always loved that like season changing thing. Autumn and spring are like my favorite seasons in almost every country that I've visited, so there's that. So a couple of these things, because of that, are not autumn specific, but just because I love autumn so much, I do recommend doing them in autumn if you get the chance. But I will mention if it's something that I would recommend doing in Japan, regardless of what time you can do it. So let's get into it. So having just mentioned my non-autumn specific things, let's get one of them out of the way first, and that is Koyasan. Koyasan is a mountain in Wakayama Prefecture. It's well known for having many Buddhist temples and also Japan's largest ancient graveyard, Okunoen. I went there several times during my time living in Japan, and my absolute favorite was a time during autumn. Now, I've made a travel tips video about going to Koyasan, like how to get there, my recommendations on where to stay, things like that, so I'll link that up here. And in that video, I had a really hard time explaining exactly what it is that I loved so much about Koyasan, and I'm gonna have the same problem here, so bear with me. It's just magical. There's something really serene and peaceful about this place. It feels, special? I don't know how to put that. Like, I'm not a very spiritual or religious person or anything like that, but it felt really good to be there. Apart from that, the reason I would recommend going in autumn is twofold. First, there are quite a few like walks and hikes that you can do around Koya, and if you're planning on doing those, going in summer or winter might be too hot or too cold. I think autumn is the perfect temperature to do things like that, and it's not going to be as dangerous in terms of like heat stroke or getting lost in the snow and things like that as summer or winter would be. So definitely recommend that. And second, the whole place is just surrounded by like Japanese maple trees, so you get incredible foliage colors, and especially if you're staying in a ryokan, which you almost certainly will be because I'm pretty sure there's no other accommodation on Koyasan. If you're staying in a ryokan, which is temple accommodation, a lot of temples have gardens with autumn foliage deliberately like built into the garden, because many Japanese temples have this like 4-season appeal thing that they try and do, so like they try to have something that will attract people for every season. So yeah, amazing autumn foliage. It just really added to the experience for me. I think like some of the scenery that you can see from the mountain is just amazing. It often rains in autumn in Japan, and I felt like the rain really added to the ambiance of the whole experience. It was just genuinely one of my best like trips that I made in Japan. So I'm going to stop trying to explain it now because I always have a really hard time doing this. Have a look at my travel tips video if you're interested in going, and this as I said is something that I would really recommend going to do regardless of what season you're in Japan, but especially if you can make it in autumn, definitely do. Next, let's talk about something autumn specific, and that is visiting temples to see autumn foliage. There are hundreds, probably thousands of temples around Japan that are famous for their incredible autumn foliage. Just a couple would be Kiyomizu-dera, Meiji Jingu in Tokyo, Kasuga Taisha in Nara. Like, there are just so many. In fact, as I mentioned in the Koyasan part, a lot of temples in Japan try to make themselves appealing in all 4 seasons. It's kind of like a Japanese thing where they take advantage of every season for its beauty. So wherever you are, you're bound to find a temple that is incredible for autumn foliage, and it will just look amazing. Often the trees have been planted or the temple has been built around specifically getting amazing views of trees in autumn and spring. So definitely do that. Wherever you are, just search for autumn temple visits and things like that. A lot of the more famous ones will be really busy, like Kiyomizu-dera in autumn just gets like insane. So my own personal recommendation, while all the really popular ones are obviously super beautiful, and if you don't mind crowds and don't mind waiting in lines and things, definitely go to them. My personal recommendation for somewhere a little quieter would be Hasedera in Nara Prefecture. It's just like a little bit off the beaten track and a little bit less touristy, but still like amazing. It's up a mountain a little way and you just get this incredible like panoramic autumn view. So yeah, find some temples, visit some temples, whether you go to the super famous ones or the ones off the beaten track, or try a little bit of both. Let's have another non-autumn specific one, and that is Arashiyama. Arashiyama is a town just outside of the main area of Kyoto, and it's well known for a lot of things. I think a lot of people would recommend going to Arashiyama in winter. However, for me, I find autumn to be a little bit better, and I'll explain why. So 3 things that Arashiyama is really well known for is its really famous bridge, one of the biggest wooden bridges in Japan that is still left standing, the bamboo forest, which is one of the most photographed areas in the world, which is a pretty big accolade, and my absolute favorite, the Arashiyama Monkey Park. So I think all of these things are best done in autumn. The bridge gets lit up in winter, like the trees around the bridge get illuminated in winter, but for me, I found that way too cold, even for me, a very like cold weather type person. It was way too cold for me, and I also think that the trees are bare in winter, obviously, and in autumn you get this amazing spread of like autumn colors, and I think that for me was better than the illuminations. Arashiyama Monkey Park I think is best in autumn because you go across the bridge and then you climb up a mountain to get, not up a mountain, it's a really small mountain, to get to the monkey park, and once you're up there there's like binoculars and this incredible like almost 360-degree view of just autumn colors, and it's pretty amazing. Plus monkeys, I mean, it's great. And then the last thing is the bamboo forest. I think the bamboo forest honestly looks fairly similar in every season, at least from what I could tell. However, I think that autumn is better for the other 2, and since the bamboo forest is the same all year round, might as well go in autumn. However, as I said, this is not autumn specific. If you happen to be in Kyoto in any season, I recommend going to Arashiyama. It's absolutely amazing, like beautiful, beautiful place, often quite busy, but well worth it. My 4th recommendation is going to be a food recommendation. In the summer version I said nagashi somen, and I think I want to have a food recommendation in all of these videos. So I think a lot of people would say chestnut for autumn in Japan, like chestnut flavored things and roasted chestnuts. However, I really don't like chestnuts for some reason, like I just can't handle them. So that's not my recommendation, but if you do like chestnuts, then they will be there. My recommendation is kaki no hazushi. Kaki no hazushi tends to be found in Nara Prefecture, but Kansai, like most of Kansai, will have it if you look hard enough. And kaki no hazushi is a special kind of sushi, in case you couldn't tell by the name. Kaki is persimmon in Japanese, and no is like belonging to, and zushi is sushi, so it's persimmon sushi. It's not actually persimmon, but it's wrapped and preserved in a persimmon leaf, so you get this like pickled fish. Sounds terrible. It's really delicious, I promise. There's like pickled fish sushi, and usually it comes in either salmon or trout, I think. It's like a white fish, anyway. And it's just like the most delicious kind of sushi ever. It's popular in autumn because autumn is persimmon season, and it's just absolutely amazing. If you can find it, absolutely do. It's a really traditional food, and it is so good. And my 5th and final recommendation is pretty broad, but something that I really think it's worth mentioning, and that is hikes and walks. Japan has loads of hiking and walking if you like that kind of thing and if you're willing to look for it. It's often not as touristy of an attraction as a lot of other things like temples and things like that, and so I think it's a really great thing to do because you get to see a lot of Japan that you might not get to see otherwise. You can look up any kind of walks in your area, and there should be like a wide range from like beginner to expert. 2 of my favorites around the Kansai area are the Yamanobe no Michi in Ikoma, which is like, it can be quite a long walk, but you can just like turn around and come back whenever you like. It goes to several different temples, and it's really rural, really beautiful. And my other recommendation would be Mount Maya in Kobe. Mount Maya is known as one of the best places to watch the sunset in Japan, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely go there for sunset. You can also visit the herb gardens in Kobe on the way, and all of it is just amazing, especially in autumn, because as I mentioned, every time you get this amazing foliage, just like panoramic views of it. It's incredible. So yeah, if you're into hiking and walking, autumn is the perfect season for it in Japan, in my opinion. Okay, so that is my top 5 things to do in Japan in autumn. I really hope this video was helpful to you and gave you some ideas for your trip, or if you're living in Japan, gave you some ideas for your autumn. If you have any thoughts about my top 5 or any questions, please ask them in the comments below, or if you want to talk about your favorite things to do in autumn in Japan, let me know. I know that there'll be a million things that I never even got to do. And apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace!